Don't follow any leader whom you don't believe in, that's it.
As Gen Zs, we've always been hearing people say, you don't get it, you are privileged, you have all the information in the world. For you to say that, no, you guys are very well connected, I'm sure it must have resonated with all of us. So, since we know that you are connecting so much to Gen Zs, I thought we could ask you some questions. We have our own language, we have our own words. So, I'm going to quiz you, but మీకు తెలిసిందంటే మీరు చెప్పండి, లేకపోతే we will teach you some words that we
I'll
represent.
be as honest as possible. If I don't know something, I'll say I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Starting off, what do you think is sus?
Sus. I don't know, my daughter keeps using sus, means I don't know, is a suspect something? I don't know.
Yes. So when somebody is behaving suspiciously, so you don't just look Gen Z, but you also know Gen Z, so
I'm forced to know them. Yeah, that's
some
it.
brownie points for you from us. So what do you think is cooked? Cooked, COOKED.
Cooked means maybe out of my understanding. I never heard this one, but I'm feeling that I'm done.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I'm finished. I'm done, man.
So when you try sneaking out and somebody catches you, you're cooked.
Cooked. Yeah, I'm cooked. Yeah.
What do you think is delulu? Delulu. DELULU.
Delulu. Is it something related to delusionary, something like that?
Oh my God. Wow. All right. I'll just make it a little harder for you, sir.
I'm sorry. It's very recently, few days back, I think I heard this word. It's not something I'm aware of. Aware of. So one of my writer was speaking to me. He was saying he was conceiving a scene. He's saying delulu. I said, what is it? This is what my kids told me. Delulu. Something they're saying.
Yeah.
It's
Delulu
delusionary.
is not the solulu.
Solulu. Yeah. Something.
Yeah,
These are
delusion
the
is
two
not the
words they use,
solution.
which I could not. Still, I'm not able to comprehend. But I try to understand.
What do you think is touch grass, sir?
Touch.
Touch grass.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Touch grass is something we believe a lot of politicians hope to come and do with us. Touch grass is basically when you go back outside and reconnect. So let's say if somebody is speaking about a topic and there's no relevance to it. So we say, you need to go touch grass. What you're talking doesn't make sense.
Oh, that's called touch grass?
Yeah, that's called touch grass.
I hope I don't touch grass, I think.
Yeah, the way you're doing a town hall, you are definitely touching grass with us, sir. Okay, last one, saving it for the best. Main character energy.
Main characterology.
Main character energy.
Main character energy. I have no idea.
I mean, it's sad that you don't know because you keep excluding, you keep giving out that energy. Main character energy is somebody who, once they enter the room, that's it, all eyes on them.
Oh.
So don't you think he has the aura, the W, the main character energy? All right, sir, thank you so much. I think you got 4 out of 5. We are very happy. No, 3 out of 5. So we're very happy that you know how we speak as well.
So I can tell at home that I've been passed.
Sir?
I have passed the exam, Gen Z exam.
Yes, sir, Gen Z exam.
Thank you. With 70%, I can say. Okay.
6, 7, doesn't apply in this context, but yeah. Thank you, sir. We'll move to the next question.
హాయ్ సార్.
Who's asking? Yeah.
సార్
Meet
నా పేరు జగదీష్. నేను వైజాగ్ నుంచి వచ్చాను. సో నేను ఎప్పుడు చిన్నప్పటి నేను ఎప్పుడు తిరుమల వెళ్ళలేదు, అలాగే వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామిని ఎప్పుడు చూడలేదు. ఆయన్ని టీవీలోనే చూశాను అండ్ అట్ ఏ టైం మిమ్మల్ని టీవీలోనే చూశాను. ఐఎమ్ సో హ్యాపీ. ఈరోజు డైరెక్ట్గా మిమ్మల్ని ఎలా చూస్తానని నా లైఫ్లో నేను ఎప్పుడు అనుకోలేదు. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ సార్. సార్ నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే, ఇప్పుడు ఉన్న జెన్జీ స్టూడెంట్స్ చాలామంది ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్సర్స్ అండ్ క్రియేటర్స్ ఉన్నారు కదా, వాళ్ళు మంచిగా కాంటెంట్ క్రియేట్ మంచిగా చేస్తున్నారు. సో మీరు ఈ రోజుల్లో ఇన్ కేస్ మీరు ఒక ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్సర్ అయ్యి లేదంటే ఒక కాంటెంట్ క్రియేటర్ అయితే మీరు ఏ టైప్ ఆఫ్ కాంటెంట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తారు?
If I'm a content creator, నేను ఎలాంటి కంటెంట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తానా?
ఎస్ సార్.
నేను పెద్ద ఏం మారను. నాకు ఐ ఫీల్ మేబీ 2 థింగ్ అంటే 2 ఇష్టమైన నాకు. ఒకటి ఎనీ నేషనల్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్, పేట్రియాటిజం ఒకటి ఉంటుంది. 2 to conserve conservation, nature conservation. ఈ రెండింటి మీద చేస్తాను అనుకుంటాం.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. అందుకే సార్ మీరంటే అందరికీ ఇష్టం. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
I think, sir, you would be vlogging. You would be going around trying to save a species and vlogging with it.
Logging.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, I'm deeply shaken to brought my inner thoughts to speak from you, sir. Sir, I'm voice of more than 10,000 AP students, sir.
మీరా?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, from 2023, we are not getting scholarship, sir. I'm BTech second year student, sir. I'm studying in here, Telangana MSET student. Till 2023, AP and Telangana has been, agreement has been there, sir. After 23, the agreement has been collapsed. Sir, I want to ask you, sir, we want scholarship, sir.
Can you make it very specific? And
Sir, I'm BTech second year student.
you're receiving scholarship from the government, right?
MSET scholarship we get, sir.
Okay.
The people who are studying, I'm AP, sir. The people in AP who studying in AP,
Okay,
they
okay.
get the scholarship. Who
Oh,
went
people-
out of state,
okay,
they
people
don't
from
get.
Andhra Pradesh, if they come and
Other
study in
state-
Telangana, they are not getting the scholarships.
Yes, sir. 2023 వరకు ఉండే సార్ మన గవర్నమెంట్ వచ్చినప్పటి నుంచి
అంటే
లేదు సార్.
అది అంటే నాకు ఐ మీన్ టు మై నాలెడ్జ్ ఐ థింక్ దట్ ప్యాక్ట్ ఈస్ ఫర్ ఓన్లీ 10 years ఐ థింక్.
ఎస్ సార్.
అంటే 2023,
24
నుంచి 14 to 24 ఉంటుంది. 24 నుంచి స్టేట్ ఇండివిజువల్ స్టేట్స్ అయిపోవటంలో ఉండదు. అదే ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ గ్రేట్ నాలెడ్జ్ అబౌట్ ఇట్, బట్ hopefully I think this could be the reason, but I'll find out. I'll take it. I'll take it.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
I'll find out the reasons why it is not being done. I'll check into it.
Next question.
Hi, sir. Yeah, here. This is Bashit. I'm an aspiring film director. Before asking you a question, I just want to share you one thing. So, being a leader is a very respectful thing, sir. So, ekkadikelna he will get the respect like from the people. So, in democracy, what do you think it is most important?
I think leader is not necessarily to be with a position. I think it should be only because of his actions. I think.
Yeah.
The
So,
and the position comes later. A man of decisiveness and very defining mindset only, I think, can ascend to that position. So I think we decide them, we define them or by their actions first. I think if I'm in your position, I look at their actions, not their position. Being in a mere position, maybe it is a constitutional, it is administrative, but I look at them, how much they could influence, how much they could I think it is demonstrative. Sometimes demonstrative action not necessarily to be in power. So that's why position for me takes a second place.
so what do you think, like when I mentioned actions, what do you think that a political leader should have, and what do you think that a political leader should not have? So there is a great saying that Che Guevara said that, sir. So one political leader can change a generation. So what do you think that leader should have and should not have?
Don't follow any leader whom you don't believe in. That's it. For me, అంటే మనం ఎవరిని ఇష్టపడాలి, టు వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ పర్సన్ వీడ్ లైక్, ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్ ప్యూర్లీ ఆన్ అస్. దెర్ ఆర్ మల్టిపుల్ చాయిసెస్, మల్టిపుల్ మైండ్ సెట్స్ ఆర్ ఈవెన్ ఇన్ లీడర్స్. ఐ థింక్ a leader is a product of the times, of that particular era. What the kind of leaders we have emerged in 1940s and 1970s were different from the leaders who are emerging right now. Of course, always there are exceptions, both good and bad. Apart from that, I think it all depends on the collective will of that particular time in the society around that particular time zone. What happens? For me, when I was growing up, I never had great leaders to follow. So always my mentors or my leaders were in 60s or 50s and 40s. So that's why I think when you embrace a leader, you make sure, does he have the right values which I wanted to see? If you don't have it, don't be obliged to follow them. You can unfollow them. So that's what I think I would do, or I think that's the suggestion which I can give you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
సో మీరు రాజ్దీప్ సర్దేశాయ్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ అనుకుంటాను సార్, దాంట్లో కూడా చెప్తారు హూ ఈజ్ యువర్ ఫేవరెట్ లీడర్ అంటే యూ సెట్ జయప్రకాష్ నారాయణ్, అండ్ జయప్రకాష్ నారాయణ్ నెవర్ హెల్డ్ ఎనీ పొజిషన్. సో ఎలాంటి పొజిషన్లో లేరు. సో for his actions.
Yeah, for both the questions, I think I can say Lok Naik, Jayaprakash Narayan. And even while getting dialysis done, he was struggling, he was carrying the message forward. He was instrumental in Janata Party's bringing back into government, coming back, bringing them into government. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Dheeraj, and నేను ఒక NSS కోఆర్డినేటర్ని. సో మీరు సక్సెస్ఫుల్ ఫిలిం కెరియర్ని వదిలేసి పాలిటిక్స్లోకి వచ్చారు కదా 2018లో, ఐ మీన్ 2018 తర్వాత ఎన్నికలకి. సో ఇప్పుడున్న జనరేషన్, మా జనరేషన్ మేము పాలిటిక్స్లోకి రావాలంటే మేము ఎలాంటి సాక్రిఫైసెస్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది?
అంత సాక్రిఫైసెస్ చేయకూడదని నా ఫీలింగ్. దట్ ఈస్ అంటే టైమ్స్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్ కదా. అండ్ ఐ ఫీల్ హ్యూమన్స్ ఆర్ ఎక్సలెంట్ పీపుల్. ఐ మీన్ అంటే we don't know the true potentiality of any individual. I don't know, I was reading a book. అంటే మనం ఒక మనిషిని చూసి వీళ్ళకి ఇంత మించి గొప్పతనం లేదని అనుకుంటాం. జనరల్ ఒక అజంప్షన్ ఉంటుంది. ఐ మీన్ సమ్మన్ అనుకుంటే an average human being whom we think we don't even care, he doesn't have whether he has a certain potentiality అనుకుంటాం, జస్ట్ ఈజీగా తీసేస్తాం. The greatest quality comes from the extreme adverse situation when that person is put into. ఇది ఒకసారి ఐ థింక్ సమ్ అదర్ కంట్రీ, ఐ థింక్ ప్రాబబ్లీ ఐ డోంట్ నో ఫ్రమ్, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ రీకాల్ ద విచ్ బుక్ ఇట్ ఇస్, బట్ ఐ రెడ్ దిస్ ఇన్సిడెంట్. అ పోలీస్ మ్యాన్, ఐ థింక్ ఇన్ హవాయ్, ఇట్ హ్యాపెన్ ఇన్ హవాయ్. చిన్న ఒక బ్రిడ్జ్ మీద కార్ వెళ్తూ ఉంటే సడన్లీ దే హ్యాడ్ సీన్ అ మ్యాన్ హూ ఇస్ అబౌట్ టు జంప్ ఫ్రమ్ ద క్లిఫ్. ఈ పోలీస్ మ్యాన్ అసలు ఇప్పుడు స్వార్థం తప్ప ఎలాంటి వాడు లేనోడు. హీ నెవర్ యూస్ టు కేర్ ఫర్ పీపుల్ దో హీ వాజ్ అ పోలీస్ మ్యాన్. బట్ ఆన్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ డే when that guy was about to leap from the cliff, ఇతను వెళ్ళి కార్ ఆపి ఇతని పార్ట్నర్ పక్కన ఉన్నా కానీ ఇతను దిగేలో వెళ్ళిపోయి he held him and he made him, he saved him. And in the process he was about to fall into the cliff, and his partner came and saved them both. So he asked him, నువ్వు ఎందుకు చేసావు, ఇంత రిస్క్ ఎందుకు పెట్టావంటే, and I said suddenly that humanity in me has awakened. Suddenly I felt I don't want him to die. ఇంత సెల్ఫిష్ పర్సన్ కదా, నువ్వు ఎందుకు చేసావంటే ఐ డోంట్ నో వాట్ హ్యాపెన్ టు మీ అంటే ద రైటర్ సేస్ ఇన్ ఎనీ హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్ sacrifice should not be, it comes naturally when it is needed. So you don't have to sacrifice something for the sake of it. In the journey, if it becomes a part of it, you do it. నేనే నమ్ముతానంటే sometimes in my case I didn't want to sacrifice, but I was forced to give up certain things to walk on the path. And again, I personally feel, if the suggestion that if I have to advise somebody to come into politics is, first thing is, don't sacrifice. Be consistent. అంటే మనం ఈ పని చేయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు without sacrificing your routine, your bread and butter. And politics should not become a money-making business. Anyone who would want to come into politics. For that reason, don't sacrifice. You have to have an occasion, you have to have a profession, you have to have something to hold on to make money. And if you look at all the freedom fighters, they were all great liars. They were making money. They had their own businesses, including Dadabhai Naoroji. They were big businessmen. They were doing something, they were able to contribute back. People who had done some teachers, basic small job holders, they participated in the freedom struggle. I think to be in part, I think your profession, your passion should be are two different things. I think if politics is my way of serving nation, I think that should not become your means of business. I think in that way, that's the reason why you should not sacrifice. You have to have an occasion. You have to have some kind of system where you can sustain your family, though being in politics. I think that's how I can suggest or advise.
Thank you, sir.
And I think that's a great way, sir, for us to also maybe reduce corruption, because there's no greed, because there's self-sufficiency. But that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah, I think I have a point to add, sir. Even late Arun Jaitley ji used to say the same thing. So encourage successful professionals to join politics because they can sustain themselves, so they don't seek any money from the system as such. So don't discourage people, successful professionals, from joining into politics and
True, true. I agree with that.
A very good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So I'm Preeti. I'm basically from Uttarakhand, Dehradun, and I'm a student here. So my question,
Uttarakhand is known as God's own
yeah, land of God.
Devbhumi. Yeah?
Yeah, Devbhumi, Uttarakhand. So my question is, this question is from since childhood. I used to think of it. So whenever my parents or my teachers or anyone asked me question, what do you want to become? So it was never politician, or in my entire life, I've never seen anyone to say I wanted to be a politician. The reason could be anything. The reason I came up with, maybe the experience. I've heard somewhere that the Gen Z or young leaders, they don't have much experience to come into this field. My question is, what reason you think? And another question adding on to that is, you have your own party. Would you want a Gen Z or a young leader in your party? If yes, what could be the qualities you want?
Okay. How do you gain experience? By just getting into it.
Yeah.
So imagine the same, if you ask me in 2014, I was more or less, I think, I don't know which hall, but in the same premises. When I started the party, though I had a little experience before, I dabbled. But for me, how do I gain experience? I had the same question, how do I gain experience? I said, you don't have experience. That's what people told me. I said, how do I gain experience unless you get into it? You have to give yourself sufficient amount of time to get into it. I think you have to give enough time. I think I feel great potentiality in Gen Z, and they're well knowledged, well informed. The only thing what they lack is taking concrete steps in what they believe in. Instead of doing that from there, sometimes you have to come out of your comfort zone to take it forward. The second question you raise is, would I encourage that kind of Gen Z group? Yes, I do. But that's why actually one experience I would like to, what I have studied, I would like to share it with you on this. You're talking about, I understand your question as would you like to support the emerging Gen Z young leadership?
Yeah.
That shall I take it like that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
For me, my entire focus is, as on now or even before, it triggered one thought from Bengal division. You know, in 1905, when Lord Curzon was the British, Viceroy, they divided, united Bengal into two, East Bengal and West Bengal even then. After a few years, I think they took it back, later for a partition. So when Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji was heading unification of India process was happening, so a question was put to him asking, how come when Bengal division was happening, right from Rabindranath Tagore ji to Netaji, all of them stood for the entire, for a state is being divided into two parts, how come entire country stood up together, including Lala Lajpat Rai? How come when India is being divided into two nations, how come none of you how come you had let it go like that easily? If a state is being divided, all of you stood together and fought. How come it never happened when the country is splitting into two? Patel ji says, one is we tried our level, but the two main points which stuck in my mind is, he says, we have become old. We are beaten with all our experiences and everything. We've been in political landscape for more than a few decades. We were put in jails, we were beaten, we are politically, we went through all kinds of struggles. But somehow we missed preparing the next generational leadership. I think that's one thing I observe. And second thing is, it is better to cut, that's a different answer, but I prefer to confine my answer for this. I think that one particular answer from observation from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel really makes me to think and really makes me to follow. For example, why I'm doing this way. The Gen Z, what I'm trying to do is, I want to identify younger leaders. I'm not preparing for next election. I am maybe this particular meeting, I don't know how many of you would emerge out as leaders another 10, 15 years from coming from now. I don't know. But my intention is, I want to reach out to as many youngsters as possible to make sure that from my party perspective, I want to prepare leaders for the entire country. Because that's what I wanted to do. Maybe I want to give them, expose them to a lot of experiences, I mean, different experiences. I want to give them the right exposure they need. I want to, certainly she's talking about basketball thing. I feel that is a question, maybe after a few years from now, maybe she'll muster enough courage to fight back. That might make her as a leader, we don't know. It only depends, in the same way the question, what you're saying, what I would do. I'm not just doing it for the benefit of my party. I want the young leadership to grow for the benefit of the nation. That's what I believe in. That's what I'm preparing I'm doing my bit part for Gen Z. That's what I look at it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the answer, detailed answer regarding Bengal and all that. And I want to share my own personal experience here, sir. See, మీరు అడిగారు కదా ఇన్ తెలుగు ఎంకరేజ్ చేస్తారా నెక్స్ట్ వాళ్ళనంటే. సో ఐ కెన్ సే మై సెల్ఫ్ యాజ్ ఎ లైవ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. August 29-30 I attended the Vizag meeting, sir. ఆ తర్వాత I participated in Senato Senani. Now I am the moderator here. So you can see this. So no background, nothing, no referrals, nothing. So from attending a meeting, participating in Senato Senani, so there was an exam, there was a extempore speaking kind of thing and all that. So now I am given the chance to moderate this program. So this is how the party, the organization nurtures next generation leadership. So thank you, sir.
I would like to add up what you said. I firmly believe more well-informed, more committed, and who are willing to walk that extra mile. I think that kind of thought process is needed in Gen Z to emerge out as very strong leaders.
నమస్కారం అన్న. అన్న ఇక్కడ అన్న శివ నల్లమల అన్న. ఇందాక అమ్మ అడిగారు కదా అంటే రాజకీయాల్లోకి ఎవరు రాలేకపోతున్నారు ఇలా అని చెప్పేసి, దానికి పర్ఫెక్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను అనుకుంటున్నానన్న. ఎక్కడో నల్లమల్లో ఉండి మిమ్మల్ని చూసి నేను ఆ సమస్యల పట్ల మాట్లాడి ఒక సేనతో సేనాని ప్రోగ్రాంలో మాట్లాడి దాని ఇంపాక్ట్ తెలంగాణ జనసేన మున్సిపల్ ఎలక్షన్లో ఒక 85 మెంబర్స్ దాకా ఆ ఇంపాక్ట్ వెళ్ళి వాళ్ళు కంటెస్ట్ చేసేలాగా చేసింది అని అంటే జెన్జీకి ఉన్న శక్తి ఎలాంటిది అని అంటే అది పర్ఫెక్ట్ పట్టుకున్న పొలిటీషియన్ అన్న నాయకుడు ఎవరు అని అంటే అది మీరే. ఇంతమందికి ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ ఇచ్చారు అంటే అది మీరే అన్న. నేను ఇంకా ఇంత గట్టిగా ఎందుకు మాట్లాడుతున్నానంటే అన్న, మొన్న జరిగిన తెలంగాణ మున్సిపల్ ఎలక్షన్స్లో మహబూబ్ నగర్ మున్సిపల్ కార్పొరేషన్లో 24 ఇయర్స్ గోనెల భరద్వాజ్ అని ఒక అబ్బాయి లీడ్ తీసుకొని 18 మెంబర్స్ని కంటెస్ట్ చేయించిండన్న. ఆ అబ్బాయి ఇక్కడే ఉన్నాడన్న, మీరు ఓకే అంటే ఒకసారి ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేస్తాను. అండ్ అలాగే మహేష్ పెంటల అని చెప్పేసి అన్న సిరిసిల్ల నుంచి బలంగా నిలబడి అతడి నుంచి ఆటుపోట్లు ఎదురైనా సరే నేను నిలబడతా అని చెప్పేసి కొంతమంది వెనకాల ఒక్కడే ధైర్యంగా నిల్చున్నాడన్న. ఆ అన్న కూడా లక్కీగా మరి దేవుడు ఇక్కడ మమ్మల్ని అందరిని ఒకే ప్లాట్ఫామ్ పైకి పిలిపించుకున్నాడు. అన్న కూడా ఇక్కడే ఉన్నారు. అన్న ఒక్కసారి మీరు పైకి అంటే రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ అంటే బాధ్యత, కమిట్మెంట్ ఇవన్నీ ఉన్న యువత ఎవరైతే ఉంటారో వాళ్ళు రాజకీయాల్లోకి ఆటోమేటిక్గా వచ్చేస్తారన్న. వాళ్ళ ఇంట్లో పెట్టి కూర్చోంటే వాళ్ళు కూర్చోలేరు. మా వల్ల కాదు అది. ఒకటికి అన్యాయం జరుగుతుందనంటే ఖచ్చితంగా మేము మాట్లాడతాం. మేము ఆ రోజు నైట్ అన్నం కూడా తిన్నా కూడా మా కడుపులో డైజెస్ట్ అవ్వదు, సరిగ్గా నిద్రపోలేం. ఎన్నో రాత్రులు అరే మాలంటోడు ఎక్కడ దొరుకుతారా అని చెప్పి అన్వేషిస్తూ ఇప్పటికీ నేను ఈ మున్సిపల్ ఎలక్షన్స్లో ఉండే 100కు పైగా జెన్యూన్ కమిటెడ్ జన సైనిక్స్ని పట్టుకున్నాను నేను. అంటే వాళ్ళకి ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ కావాలా. ఆ ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ ఎక్కడ దొరుకుతుందంటే అది కేవలం జనసేన పార్టీలోనే దొరుకుతుందన్న. సో ఆ ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్కి కారణం ఎవరు అంటే అల్టిమేట్గా ఎక్కడొచ్చి ఈ పాయింట్ ఏ అవుతుంది అంటే అది కేవలం పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ గారి దగ్గర వచ్చి మాత్రమే ఆ పాయింట్ అవుతుందన్న.
థ్యాంక్ యూ శివ. The question you asked, right? How do you encourage Gen Z as leaders, no? And I would like to introduce him. He's around 22 years.
24 అన్న.
24, okay, 24. నువ్వు నన్ను కలిసినప్పుడు ఎంత 17?
17, 18 ఉంటాను.
He met me when he was 17. And what I believe, the capability of Gen Z, he is one of a classic example. అండ్ నాకు తనకు అనిపిస్తుంది ఐ కుడ్ సీ హిమ్ యాజ్ అ గ్రేట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. He doesn't come from not even urban backgrounds. He doesn't even come from urban backgrounds. He doesn't. He's no. He stays in a small Gudamanda.
Penta.
Okay. A small habitat somewhere in deep Nalmala forest. Phone connections. No phone connections. Nothing. It's very interior. Tiger reserve lo kada. Deep.
Amrabat Tiger Reserve anna. Amrabat Tiger Reserve.
He stays in his habitat is in the tiger reserve. One day, why I believe in Gen Z is looking at him is one of the example. He was in intermediate, I think, intermediate second year and no. He came all the way. He was out of my office. When I was getting into the office, he was someone was with himself and his friend. I looked at them. What are you guys doing? Their commitment was not even for them, not even for their family. It is for their village and for their environment around. The uranium is being excavated and entire habitats are going to get polluted. And I don't know how to speak in English. I don't know Hindi. But yet I want to do something. Imagine him. I want to give you, what's your name? Volleyball. What's your name? Shruti. Shruti, he is one of the examples which I want to tell you. You're scared that, a part of you is scared, right? Like, would I be targeted or would I be highlighted? He comes from a very, you can sit down. He comes from, as I told you, an interior wildlife zone, a small habitat. His entire thought was to safeguard his village from environmental hazards. He didn't have money. He had hardly had food to eat, but he had just around 100 rupees or something, 150, antenna, just to come and go back. He didn't have the money to take an auto. He didn't have anybody to drop him. He came by walk around from main road. He came interior, when he walked interior of the roads for 5 kilometers. His thought was to make sure his village will be saved. That's the only thought he had. So when I met him, I didn't know what I was, in 2019, I lost my election. In fact, I was more in my, I don't know what the hell I should do. And he is seeking answers or strength from a guy who has failed in elections. But what moved me was his commitment. The moment I met him, I said I want to do something for him. That one stepping out of his comfort zone, he came all the way to Hyderabad. Somehow he believed that by reaching out to me, something will happen. I think, I don't know what made him to believe. Quite strange for me even till today. But he moved the entire Telangana state political landscape. That one move. Because of that one move, then the CM and everything, they came together when we had a multiple roundtable. We had one roundtable conference with all the parties. Parallelly in assembly, they withdrew the exploring the uranium mining there in his Adilabad forest zone.
Nallamala, sir.
Nallamala. So point I want to make here is, if we are committed, he doesn't know how to tweet, he doesn't know how to speak in English, he doesn't know, but he came out of his comfort zone. He's just 24 right now. When he met me, he was 17. And I believe in Gen Z because of seeing examples like that, seeing models like that, seeing who are able to do something, and I feel they are able to come in all walks of life. I think that's what I would like to introduce him today. He's Shiva, and he comes from a tribal background, and he is an environmentalist, and he really fights for his environment around. And a round of applause to him, please. So, thank you. And one day I would like to see him, send him to Parliament. Hope one day it happens. Hope one day he gets into assembly, one day he goes into assembly. Imagine, this kind of individual should become future leaders in another 20 years from now. సో నువ్వు ఆ హృదయం పోగొట్టుకోకుండా ఉండు, ఆ మనసు పోగొట్టుకోకుండా, ఆ ఫైటింగ్ స్పిరిట్ పోగొట్టుకోకుండా.
ఆ వ్యక్తిత్వం మీ నుంచే నేర్చుకున్నాను నేను.
Good, thank
మీరు ఏ విధంగా అయితే అడవి ప్రాంతాల్లోకి వెళ్ళి నిలబడగలుగుతున్నారో ఆ విధంగా నేను ఎందుకు నిల్చోలేనని చెప్పేసి నన్ను.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్,
థ్యాంక్ యూ అన్న.
నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్.
So in Tamil Nadu, it's been a very big political debate, sir. So nowadays, youths all across India, so they are more interested in civilization roots. So at this time, how you plan to carry out the Sanatana Dharma to Gen Z and make them relevant, make them to understand about the Sanatana Dharma today, sir?
For me, yeah, you finish your question?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so you can say. So what I believe in is when it talks about religion or culture, every country has its own culture which they should respect, no matter whichever country. It could be Middle East, it could be any country, you name it. They have their own cultural traditions. So in the same way, our country has its own cultural traditions. When I'm talking about cultural tradition, doesn't mean that I disrespect others. I have a lot of respect for other religion, but the problem is we're being fed in the last few decades. Maybe, I don't know, we can go dig back into 18th century also, but let us talk about for the last 5 decades especially. When you talk about your own culture, they feel it is uncomfortable for a lot of people, which I don't see it. If you talk about other than this particular tradition, rest are okay. But if you talk about the prevailing culture, or which is instrumental in this, the backbone of this nation, and I feel somehow people feel they put a religious tag to it. Don't look at as you cannot take out the culture in you. For example, I don't know, the villain, it's a representation by Arthur Schopenhauer. It was quoted in, I think, in volume 1. He says, they put a question, he states that in that book, a lot of European, this kind of, the belief system there is coming into India, and they're trying to change the core of India. And he says, you cannot change India, the core culture of India. It is like changing, hitting firing a bullet to a cliff. Instead of you changing India, if you want to take your values, your cultural values back into India, and you're trying to transform them, it is like firing a bullet to a cliff. Instead of you changing them, they're going to have a fundamental changes in the European thinking. That's how he designed the traditional dharma of this nation. This country there are many ways, always it's individuals. If you say people find a lot of flaws with the Sanatana Dharma and all, which I don't say it, it is like this. In letter and spirit, when people talk about constitution, it was done by hundreds of people. B.R. Ambedkar ji was the chairman. A lot of eminent leaders had done with a lot of thought process and everything. It is the implementation of constitution in its true spirit is different, and the written word is different. In the same way, Sanatana Dharma, in its core, it is great. It is very flexible, it is very welcoming and everything. But that does not mean it is, when certain people has done mistakes, that does not mean you have to hate the core dharma itself, which I find fault with that. So when I'm trying to say that, and a lot of people won't like it. But Gen Z should understand, don't believe my words. Let us not have partiality, giving more scope for other religion, not for Sanatana Dharma, which I feel it is unfair. If you'll go to Singapore, I don't know, I'm not a mad fanatic Hindu. I'm not, I don't want to disrespect any religion. For me, I don't do for votes. I said, my concern is, why should I speak about Sanatana Dharma today when there was no need? Because a need came in such a way, if people keep on abusing one Sanatana gods of Hindu Dharma, I wanted to say, don't do it. You don't have the guts to talk about other religions, don't do the same thing about Hindu Dharma. That's all my question is. Don't get into traditions. If I come into your house, I think I'm supposed to take out my chappals and come inside. And I said, just because I'm okay, I want to come with I said, that is your tradition. There are so many things which we have to respect. The privacy of others, the tradition of others, which I am asking, extend the same what you have extended for other religions. That's what my question is. Even in Singapore, it's a multi-religious society there. Taoism is there, Buddhism is there, there is a Hinduism, there is a Gurdwaras are there, there is a Islam is there. And still they coexist as one society. No matter which religion you target, the punishment is the same. But in India, the convenience is if you hit Hindu Dharma, you can get away with it. With other Dharmas, you'll be punished. I don't want that to happen. I want you give us equal respect. That's it. Whatever the justice you are giving it for other religions, do the same thing, even for Hindu Dharma. In that perspective, I say, beyond that, I don't want it to make it India as a fanatic Hindu nation. I don't believe in that. But I believe respect for this Sanatana Dharma. The way you respect Islam, the way you respect Christianity. That's how my parents had taught me. That's it. Beyond that, I don't want to take it to a level which is intolerable. I don't believe in that.
So I think that solves the debate, because we've always seen you growing up as a secular person, and once you entered politics, and because of whatever reasons, you have been pictured like, you were going more into one religion basis. But thank you for sharing your guiding philosophy on how you're able to balance, and I think that explains why all the communities have immense respect for you. We'll move on to the next question.
நீங்கள் தமிழ்நாட்டிலேருந்து வந்திருக்கீங்களா? தமிழில் நீங்கள். Thank you so much. Sir, if you could please acknowledge them for coming all the way from Tamil Nadu. So if you can acknowledge them in 2 lines in Tamil, please.
நீங்கள் 2 பேர் தமிழ்நாட்டிலேருந்து வந்துட்டீங்களா? எந்த இடத்துலேருந்து வந்துட்டீங்க? சென்னையா? ரொம்ப நன்றி. நீங்கள் சென்னையிலேருந்து இந்த ப்ரோக்ராமுக்கு வந்துடுது. ரொம்ப நன்றி. தேங்க்யூ.
Thank you, sir. So next question, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Vanakkam. I'm also a Tamilian. So I'm Chandana. I have 2 questions for you. The first one is, as a father of a Gen Z, how are you? Are you strict or are you relaxed?
Father of Gen Z? No. What if a 7-year-old kid is there? Which generation he belongs to? My youngest son is 7-year-old, so how do I?
I think Gen Alpha, yeah.
Okay. So I have kids from Gen Z to Gen Alpha, I think. Okay. So tell me, how do I?
How are you? Are you strict or relaxed? Chill parent.
I'm not strict. At the same time, I'm supple. And I said, where I have to be hard, I'll be hard. Not in, but sometimes where if they go out of limits, which normally they don't do, but I guide them.
Of course.
So in a way, you can see they see a lot of suppleness in me as a father. I'm not, but without being strict, I'll be strict. That's what I do.
Okay. So my second question is, the media is known as the 4th pillar of our democracy. And these days, many people are talking about yellow journalism. So how do you view this trend of yellow journalism?
I think any institution, if it is in its true spirit, I don't think a lot of things won't happen. This question would not have arisen. It is not the 4th pillar spirit is wrong. It is the individuals who had done mistakes or who are not capable of carrying the spirit. I think it's because of that. I think nowadays it has changed. I think suddenly, so why social media has become so powerful is every individual has a voice now.
Yeah.
It depends on how well it is caught up with the rest of the group. I think the relevance of media, to what extent after social media, is debatable. So that's why I think there are always counter arguments. They might be powerful, they might be influential, but nevertheless, the collective social media is also playing a very pivotal role. I think eventually, if you have such a good argumentative, not argumentative, but I'm seeing a good moral framework in your arguments. I think no matter what happens, whether they're powerful, they're not powerful, they're different media, I think it depends on your strong moral framework, I think, which you could take it forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So one point to add here, sir. Generally, media tries to create this phenomena of tyranny of real time.
Tyranny of?
Real time. So
Real time in sense?
tyranny of real time in the sense, సో వాళ్ళు ఎలా ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేస్తారంటే ఇలాంటి యుద్ధం ఇంకెప్పుడు ముందు జరగలేదు, సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద వర్స్ట్ టైమ్స్ యూ ఆర్ లివింగ్ ఇన్. సో ఇదే చాలా పెద్ద కష్టం.
Always, if you go back to take back all the old issues, I think it's a continuum, I think.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ సార్, బట్ టు హ్యావ్ మోర్ వ్యూస్ అండ్ ఆల్ దట్, వాళ్ళు ఏంటంటే దే క్రియేట్ దిస్ ఫినామినా ఆఫ్ tyranny of real time. సో దాని నుంచి ఎస్కేప్ అవ్వాలంటే పీపుల్ షుడ్ బి.
So we call it as tyranny of real time. Okay.
Hi sir, I'm Nandita.
Hi.
I want to ask that, recently in Tamil Nadu, actor Vijay has entered into politics. So how do you see his breakthrough from an actor to politician? And do you think if he's entered into politics as an independent or with alliance, because you both have similar breakthrough into actor to politician. So do you have any advice to him?
Normally, I don't give advices to anybody because they are because everyone is capable. Once someone is old enough, I think even to my own kids, I don't give them advice unless I'm asked. But when it comes to the question you raised to Mr. Vijay, they're capable, and he's a very big hero, very big star, and everyone has a right to come into to set up a political party, to come into politics. I think it's great if they serve their own, whatever their role they have they gotten into. But you have to stick around. My question to anybody is, even for example, right from the Mr. Shiva to anyone, no matter who, big, small, it doesn't matter. I think to achieve anything, you have to stick around. You have to you have to be an exceptional risk taker. Don't expect any results, which I didn't expect. When I got into politics, I told myself there was no precedent and there was no hope for me. I only came into politics because there's a lot of unanswered questions in me. There's a lot of, and a lot of anger and injustice. I want to say something. I want to stand for something. In this process, I never had a thought to become something. I want to do something. So that should be what I think anyone should look at it, no matter who they are and what they are.
Yeah, sir. Add on to that, you are serving the nation by being a politician. So if you're not a politician, how would you have served the nation?
I would not have served the nation, but I would have served the earth, Mother Earth. Now, the only thing is I would have been something into, I would have been a big conservationist. That's what that's on.
So regarding the advices part, sir, not giving and not taking advice is the most Gen Z thing. And you said that.
Say it again.
So advice ఇవ్వకపోవడం, advice తీసుకోకపోవడం is a very Gen Z thing.
No, they give a lot of advices, but they also take advices. No, but it won't be like that. No, just stand. Because at home I feel that they don't like advice, but they seek advice.
Okay. So next one, please.
Hello sir, my name is Tipparaju Tilak. So I'm an aspiring filmmaker and an actor. I'm also a content creator from Hyderabad. Same అతను అడిగిన క్వశ్చన్ లాగానే సేమ్ I want to ask but in a different way. మీరు ఒకవేళ కంటెంట్ క్రియేటర్ అయ్యి ఉంటే వాట్ ఇనిషియేటివ్ వుడ్ యూ టేక్ లైక్ టు డెవలప్ నాట్ జస్ట్ ద కంటెంట్?
అంటే కంటెంట్ క్రియేషన్లో అంటే వాట్ ఐ బిలీవ్ ఇన్ ఇస్
సో అంటే లైక్ ఇప్పుడు
అంటే ఎనీ కంటెంట్ క్రియేషన్ షుడ్ మేక్ యూ, ఐ థింక్ ఎనీ కంటెంట్, ఇఫ్ యూ రీడ్ ఎ బుక్ ఆర్ ఇఫ్ యూ లుక్ ఎట్ సంథింగ్, ఇఫ్ యూ షేర్ సమ్ ఐడియాస్, I think it should make you a better person. It should uplift it should make you better than what you are as of now. So content creation has many, it depends on how many elements, how many aspects of human nature is there. If you go into a library, what kind of books you choose depends on your approach. So in the same way, when I do content, if I want to do content creation, for example, when I said about, for me, I do about patriotism and conservation of nature. If I'm a content creator, I look at about Shruti's basketball thing, whatever she's going through, the volleyball thing, I'll try to hold it. This is the issue which is happening. So I try to raise that kind of issues. Or else some kind of nullamala or some kind of uranium is happening, maybe I have to raise that issue. So for me, maybe I might not get as many likes as possible. I might not be, I would not have done with for likes. That's all I can say.
Yes.
But I would do something constructive which would benefit the people or society around.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
హాయ్ సార్, మై నేమ్ ఇస్ అభిషేక్, ఐఎమ్ ఏ కంటెంట్ క్రియేటర్. సో మై క్వశ్చన్ ఈస్, అంటే నాలాంటి జెన్జీ ఇంకా యూత్ మొత్తం స్టార్టింగ్ నుండి నర్సరీ నుండి మొత్తం చదువుతున్నారు అండ్ కెరీర్ దగ్గరికి వచ్చేపాటికి కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతున్నారు ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డే. సో మీ నుంచి తెలుసుకోవాలనుకుంటున్నాను, లైక్ కెరీర్లో కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయిన వాళ్ళకి మీరు ఇచ్చే అడ్వైస్ ఏంటని అడుగుదాం.
Just want to understand you. You are from?
విజయవాడ సార్.
No, what are you doing?
ఇంటర్ ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్.
You're into first year, okay. So what kind of, okay, till, do you agree till certain basic education, I think we have to go through it. We don't have a choice. Manaki gurukulalu levu. We don't have gurukulas. We don't have, patashalas. I think whatever the standard format is. So when I was in, that I finished my, I discontinued my intermediate, +2. The reason is, I was looking at Rabindranath Tagore's life. They say Rabindranath Tagore was a nature lover. He never went into standard school. So I thought, if I take a model, Rabindranath Tagore as a model, I think even I don't have to, something I thought very widely, and I didn't like the way what they taught me in school, the way they taught me in school. So for me, I want to know more about nature and other things. But something, I didn't like it, but I could drag myself till intermediate. After that, I felt I was not happy about it. I want to learn on my own, right from languages or whatever. Then I went to a different aspect. Even now I read around 3 to 4 hours, I read. I never stopped learning. Though I had stopped education, regular conventional education, but I had never stopped learning. So when it comes to career, I was thinking, what kind of job I should get into? Something which makes me feel that I want to be happy in what I'm doing. I can suggest this, I can say this, don't do something which you don't like. If your heart is somewhere, wherever your heart is, try to do that. Maybe even if that gives you money, that will give you money. I think always I was searching for what is there in my heart, what kind of passion I am with. Maybe I found that passion little in cinema. More than acting, I found it in creative aspects. I think that's what made me, additionally, acting has become a part of my nature. I feel my advice would be, follow your heart, where your heart is, where you're spending your time. If you're reading books, what kind of books you're reading, what kind of films you're watching, what kind of people you're interacting with. I think based on that, I think there is something is happening, there is some destiny is shaping up. I think you should stick to it, but don't do something which someone has said it to you. That's why I don't push my kids to do something which I like. I said, do something which you like. I don't push them. But at the same time, I guide them if they're confused. The same I can tell you, if you follow your passion, follow whatever your heart says. But don't do something which you're pushed or you're into it. Unless there is, sometimes you do something which you don't like, but that could be for survival. But after some time, you follow your heart and follow your passion, and eventually your job should make you feel elated and happy. And eventually that will give you the required growth, let it be financial, let it be in any other aspects. That I could say.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wish you very best for your future.
Sir, Abhishek here, he's actually a practicer of what you are saying right now. He's in his intermediate first year, sir. He's had things in past where they wouldn't join him in school for whatever that he has. అలా అక్కడి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి నౌ ఈజ్ అ ఫుల్ ఫ్లెజ్డ్ కాంటెంట్ క్రియేటర్ హూ హ్యాస్ 50,000 ఫాలోవర్స్ ఆన్లైన్.
He is a fifth
He's a full-fledged content creator.
content creation.
So he's influencing people online. He has his own clothing brand.
Wow.
So he's proving to everybody that has rejected
So
him.
you followed so you should be the leading example. Instead of asking me, you should tell, do this. Congrats, Abhishek. Wonderful.
Thanks.
You have 50,000 people who follow. Wow. Excellent. You must be 16, 17?
18, sir.
18, oh. Wonderful.
Thanks.
So now these days, this content creation and all that has become very much fashionable and all that. But we remember, sir, in 2018, you have gone to that Vantada illegal mining area, and you yourself have shot that entire thing, and you have posted it. See it.
I used to do that.
So,
But then I never knew it was content creation, but I was just doing my job.
so you were always like that. As you have mentioned reading, sir, I would like to ask you to suggest 3 books, 3 movies that you want Gen Z to read to have that strong mind and all.
I'm a bit scared to suggest books. One is a Telugu book called Bibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyaya. It is a Bengali translation. It's called Vanavasi. That will teach you a lot about conservation of nature. In the name of civilization, how do we destroy the culture? That's one book I would like to suggest you, Vanavasi. The other 2 books, I mean, you confine me for, because I read a lot. So, in terms, just I want to talk about economics, and I can suggest you read Thomas Sowell books. Thomas Sowell is an American economist. Somehow his thoughts resonate with us. I think one is any books of Thomas Sowell, right from basic economics to any social theories. I think that one writer quite interesting for me. So Thomas Sowell. And any books of Swami Vivekananda, which makes you a very strong individual, very strong individual. You don't, I think just off the hand, if to say that I'm able to recall these 3. 3 films you're talking about. I think I like any films which doesn't depress us. One film is all about the Italian film which won an Oscar award is Life is Beautiful. For me, when I see that film, it reminds me of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who was caught up in concentration camps and Jewish concentration camps. He was a very prominent psychologist in Vienna. And what made him? He went into concentration camps, very prominent guy. And to the extent he was pushed into a situation, he lost his wife. And he was forced to eat fingers of dead bodies. And he came out with, in that entire process, he didn't come out bitter and battered. He came out in a more constructive way, and he came out with a concept called logotherapy. No matter what happens in your life, the way you interpret makes all the difference. I think that's the crux of what he says. I think that one book, for multiple reasons, I like that book, Viktor Frankl's In Search of Meaning, I think, Life's Search for Meaning, something like that. But that theme has reflected in the film called Life is Beautiful. The father really goes through a lot of more, like in any concentration camp, what a Jewish personality must have gone through those times. And how it does not make, he makes sure it does not impact his son, and how in the most toughest circumstances and dire consequences, he raises the hope of a future to his son. I think that really moved me, that film. Life is Beautiful. And I like films of Akira Kurosawa. It's all about strength and courage. It's all about standing, especially Yojimbo, and these are the films which I like, that one particular film. And of course I like Sholay, Amitabh Bachchan and Dharmendra's. That's one of my favorite films. In Telugu, I like a lot of films, but if you ask me to confine only for three, I'm able to say these three films.
సో ఒక విషయం ఏంటంటే విజయవాడలో బుక్ ఫెస్ట్ జరగాలి, లైక్ ఇట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ ఇన్ హైదరాబాద్ అండ్ ఆల్. సో విజయవాడలో బుక్ ఫెస్ట్ అవ్వాలంటే దే వర్ గివెన్ ప్లేస్ అవుట్ సైడ్ ద సిటీ, బట్ దే అప్రోచ్డ్ సార్. సో సార్ మాట్లాడి విజయవాడ విత్ ఇన్ ద సిటీ ఆ బుక్ ఫెస్ట్ అయ్యేలా చేసి అదంతా వెళ్ళడం. తర్వాత మీరు విక్టర్ ఫ్రాంకిల్ బుక్ చెప్పారు కదా సార్, మ్యాన్స్ సర్వైవల్, అది మ్యాన్ సెర్చ్ ఫర్ మీనింగ్. సో ఆ బుక్ మీరు పట్టుకున్నారు సార్, ఆ తర్వాత అది అమెజాన్లో అవుట్ ఆఫ్ స్టాక్ అయిపోయింది.
One more book I would like to, which more was Herman Hesse's Siddhartha. That's one great book. You have to read that.
Hi, good afternoon, sir. My question for you is, nowadays Gen Z has a lot of options in terms of education, food, clothes, anything really. So what is your advice in helping Gen Z decide how to choose from this variety of options, and how was your decision making when you were the Gen Z age around that?
I'm not the right person to answer that, because I'm quite greedy when it comes to, if you put me in a bookshop, I'm so greedy which one to select. In the same way, life has, for you, a lot of options are there, it's very difficult to choose. But now the issue is, before the choices were very slim, now the choices are more for anything. The simplest thing what I would like to do is, don't get influenced by others. Sometimes what we like might not give us money, sometimes it might not give us recognition, but it makes us complete and fulfillment inside. So in the choices given, if you take up one task, if you make one choice, you have to do a lot of thought experiments. In the array of choices you have, normally what I would do is, if I have an abundant choice, I would do a thought experiment. Okay, if I go this path, what will happen to me? I go till the end of it. If I go this path, if I make this choice, sometimes somewhere brain gets tired. Somewhere you feel scared. If I make this choice, I'll be scared. That is going to give me this result. So that's what I used to do. I used to slim my choices. In a given around 10, 15 or an array of choices are there, I would like to first slim where my heart is not there, I'll remove it. I like to pick up first, prioritize 5. In that I do my thought experiment. If I walk through this, if I hold on to this, if I make this decision, if I get into this, what would happen? So somewhere you feel it in your mind you cannot travel, you cannot see. Normally I would go back and I try the other one. So in the process, I think you will stick to one or two. I think that's what, for me, that's what I did for cinema. That's what I did for politics. For politics, I did this thought experiment for 10 years. I was doing cinema, but I was thinking about politics. If I make this decision, what would happen? Suddenly my heart used to race up. No, they would bump me off. If I may say this, they would do this to me. If I do this, okay, I'll be a failure. So all these, thought experiments will make you, when you have unlimited choices, cut down the size of it, select few, travel with that, once you travel, do some thought experiments, and then eventually I think it will settle in your body, it will settle in your mind. I think you will stick to one or two. I think that will give you the required thrust in your life, what you want, where you want it to go.